Hi, I'm Sheila Walsh from Radio Humber. Thanks for joining the conversation as we speak to radio industry professionals about all things on the radio. So welcome to the 2019 version of On the Radio, and we are with the graduating class of 2019, and we know that you can't see them, but they're about 2 months out now, folks, to leave. So we have a new group of guest speakers, and we're starting off this season with Ms. Kym Geddes, News Director of Newstalk 1010. You oversee a newsroom, you're saying probably about 12 plus, maybe more. Yeah. So Kym started in Barrie, went to Hamilton, went to Q107 here in Toronto, Chum FM, and now you're the news director of Newstalk 1010, probably Canada's largest news talk station, most popular, etc., right?
Yep.
So no pressure, no pressure at all. Tell us about a day in the life of what you do. What does the news director of Newstalk 1010 do?
Well, I'm up early before the 6 o'clock news, listening to John Moore and sometimes Robert Turner at 5, and that kind of sets the tone, and I know what kind of day we're going to have news-wise. And then I check our Instagram page, I check Twitter, I check emails, and if there's something I need to address, then I email my morning anchors, Russ Courtney and Tiffany Hensby. Sometimes I'm corresponding with our program director, Mike Ben-Dixon, on issues, and the job starts, or the day starts then, and that continues until I get into the radio station 7:30, 7:45, and then I have an assignment meeting at 8 o'clock with Russ and Tiffany and reporters, and they come to the table with story ideas and what local stories we need to follow, where we need to be, and I send the reporters out and get the news gathering process started for that day. And then the news just starts, and it snowballs, and stories develop and stories break, and it just goes until, I'm on the desk at 4:30 and 5:30. I'm off the air, and it depends on what's happening that day. If I need to set something up for the next day, I'm out of work at 6:30, and that's about it.
It's a long day.
It's a very long day.
And never the same day twice, obviously,
Nope.
right? When you started speaking to the class, you started off by asking them what they wanted to get into and asked them to raise their hands, whether it's digital, news, announcing, etc. And at the end, you said you should be putting your hand up for everything. So as a news director or hiring manager, obviously versatility is key. Can you talk a little bit about that to our students and students who will be watching this in the future about what they need to bring to the table?
Natural curiosity. First and foremost, if you're not curious and asking questions about every little thing, then why are you in the news business? So that is very important to me anyway. Tenacious and be bold and assertive in how you conduct yourself, whether you're as a reporter or just someone in the newsroom, and just be inquisitive, and the willingness to learn is everything also for me. I mean, I can teach on-air delivery, and I can teach, tonality and that sort of thing. But if those natural aspects, if you don't have them, then I'm like, why do I need you? Writing is key. Writing is key for me. I've had, television people want to work in a radio environment who haven't ever done radio, and it's a different beast. It's just a different beast, and we're not in the position at Newstalk 1010 in major market Toronto as to be a training ground. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources to spend the time with you and teach you on the job. So if you have those basics and you're really good at it coming in, then that makes my life much easier.
And catching your attention, initially you had said dropping names, references, and then some things you were looking for specifically on a demo. So while you're here training, can you just go over those again?
Sure.
You're talking about news, obviously other programming and parts would be different, but in a news sense, take us through a successful candidate, what you see from reading a resume to what you're hearing on their demo.
Okay. I got a heads up about a young reporter a couple of years ago who was working for a friend of mine in Hamilton, and she said, listen to this guy. He's not quite ready for Newstalk yet, but he will be. I'm sending him out to an opportunity out west in Kamloops, but you got to keep in touch with this guy. And she said the same thing to this young reporter. You know, talk to Kym. I've already said, keep an ear on you. So he's out in Kamloops, starting his first job as a reporter, and he gets in touch with me, and I start going over his work. I can hear there's something there. And we just kept in touch. You know, it's like anything available, nothing full-time. It's like keep in touch. 2 years later, I called him, and I said, you know, James, I've got a part-time opportunity. I know it's only part-time, but if you're interested, you know, maybe we can make this work. He had family here, and he says, I'm going to go for it. He's now like one of my best reporters. And it turned into a full-time gig because he landed, and I knew he was good. And then my bosses found out, it's like, who is this guy? And he got his foot in the door, and he just started to shine, and he made it work for himself. So that contact with, you know, professors, people I've worked with in the industry, still work with in the industry, they'll call, and I'll call them like it's a continuous thing where I've got someone, I'm looking for someone, listen, you know, anyone in Windsor, this is what I'm thinking, you know, in about 6 months, there's an opportunity in traffic. Do you guys have anyone? So all of that networking that you're doing now, it is so important because it's, you know, the people like Sheila or, you know, Dan Blakely up at Rock 95 in Barrie who will say, Kym, have I got someone for you? All right. Great, and vice versa. You know, I've got someone fresh out of a college environment, a boatload of potential. I think they just need to spend some time with you, Dan, to hone their writing, and then I want them back. That happens. Don't kid yourself. So these contacts and networking is key. And so if you guys open the door to me saying, listen to this person, and they've got potential, then I listen for writing, if you're a good writer. If you've got you know, gone are the days where you need like the big booming voice. But if there's clarity and expression and individuality and personality in your work, then I'm like, all right, I want to hear more. I'm going to bring this person in. So, and again, it just depends. For a reporter, I want to hear reports. For an anchor, I want to hear a newscast. I'd like to hear your interviewing style, and that comes across in podcasts and as long-form interviews. So, all of that.
Excellent. All of that, and you'll have a shot at a job with Kym or someone like her or somebody on her farm team, because it sounds very much like a farm team kind of mentality.
Very much so.
Last thoughts. I know you went over a lot of stuff. We went over a lot of great stuff, but we are on the clock here. Last thoughts for advice or just anyone pursuing any kind of opportunity in radio these days?
Wow. We've been where you guys are sitting. So it's not daunting. It's if you really believe in yourself, you'll make it happen. You will find a way to make it happen. And use your connections. If someone like me says, you know, I want to hear from you, then I'd better hear from you. And use your connections because you don't have a lot of them right now because you're a student, or students. You've all done interns, or you will. Use those internships. So if you go to intern somewhere and, you know, you ask for a reference in that recommendation, use it. Use it and say, you know, if I see something from... who does the internship at 680 still? Avery? Ann Lavery. From Ann saying, Kym, you know, I've got someone for you, or listen to this person. She'll probably want to keep you. But I'll be like,
And that's happened.
Absolutely, right? So, and, you know, say yes to everything, because you're going to try things that just, it's not the right fit, you're not good at it, you don't like, but at least you'll know, right? And why not learn how to do so many different things in the industry? Because guess what? You're going to be doing it all anyway, right? So, yeah, I think that's about it.
Good advice.
It's
Thank
all
you,
good.
Miss Kym Geddes, everybody.